Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to be testing NYX's new foundation. NYX's new foundation. They're bringing out a new foundation. I think this is already available in the US, but in the UK it's coming out on the 1st of June, so it will probably be out when you're watching this video on the NYX website, and also I think like mid-June, maybe end June, it's coming out you know, in like Boots, ASOS and that kind of thing. This is the NYX Total Control Drop foundation, and they very kindly sent me a bunch of different shades, and I thought it would be a pretty cool idea to do like a full review video. So in this video I'm going to be showing you me like applying it on my face, and then I'm going to be going about my day, and I'm going to be like checking back in and stuff, giving you guys my overall thoughts and impressions on this foundation. Just for reference, if you're new to my channel, why am I still holding this box? Just for reference, if you're new to my channel, my skin type is really oily, so yeah, just throwing that out there. Also, if you're new to my channel and you do enjoy this video, I do a bunch of drugstore videos and I post on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so I would love it if you would subscribe if you aren't already subscribed, so thanks. Okay, so at the moment I've currently primed my face how I normally would. I've put my SPF on, and I've put on one of my moisturisers with glycerin in it, so that is how I would normally prime my face. I basically want to do everything the same as I would normally do my makeup, just so that I'm literally testing the foundation. Like, I don't want to change my primer or, you know, concealer or anything, so I'm going to do like my normal daily makeup routine, just changing the foundation. So, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to show this on camera, but can you see how many shades NYX have sent? They were extremely generous. There is literally a shade for every single skin tone, I'm pretty sure. This is the palest and this is the darkest. Like, they have such a huge range of colours, which is so nice to see, because I feel like they have ones that are going to suit people like me that are extremely fair, and they also have ones that are going to suit extremely dark people, which is something that drugstore brands rarely do. So I think the fact that they've got so many shades is amazing, so go NYX. By the way, I just want to point out, as you guys probably know, this video is not sponsored. NYX just very kindly sent this over. No obligation for me to review it or whatever, but I thought it would make quite an interesting video. They also put in this little brush, which I'm guessing is supposed to be good for, you know, blending out the foundation, and a sponge, which I have gone ahead and got wet. I did manage to stab my fingernail into it, my bad. So I've just picked up the top 6 palest shades, and I'm probably going to swatch them on my face to see which one is going to be best for me. So they come in a little like glass bottle like this, and it's quite small. You get 13 ml of product, which normally you get 30 ml, I think, and I'm not sure how much these are going to be. So it's quite a liquidy foundation, as you can see, and the idea behind this is you're supposed to add a different number of drops depending on the coverage that you want. So it says on the back, 2 drops is light coverage, 3 drops plus is medium coverage, and 4 drops plus is full coverage. So the lightest shade is literally called Pale, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this on my face. Okay, I know you're supposed to do it on your neck, but I just want to test it here to see if that's going to work for me. Okay, so I know my face looks like pretty like red because I've just like rubbed in my moisturiser and stuff, and I have quite a lot of redness on my face, but my neck is actually quite yellowy toned, and I think this one is quite yellowy toned. That actually looks like it's going to be a pretty good colour for me. I feel like it might be a tiny little bit too pale, so I'm just going to try the next colour along, which is called Alabaster. Let's give this one a go. I'm going to take one of these out here, which I definitely know is probably going to be too pink. This one is called Light Ivory. Light Ivory I think looks a bit too pink toned for me. Let's give Alabaster a go. Oh shit, I've just dripped it down my new bodysuit. It does, however, look a slight bit more pink toned than the very palest shade. So this one here is Alabaster and this one is Pale. Let's take a look at Porcelain. Porcelain is the one on the top and Alabaster is the second one down. I think Porcelain is more of a pinky toned colour, so if you are more on the pinky side, then maybe go for either Porcelain or the shade Light Ivory. One word of advice, be careful because they drip. So I'm going with the shade called Alabaster, but I'm just going to put 2 drips onto my hand. I feel like that's definitely not going to be, that would not be enough for like my whole face. Let's do half of my face with 2 drips because 2 is supposed to be light coverage. And on this side I'm going to be using a brush. Okay, Okay, so I mean, it did say on the thing that 2 drops was light coverage. To be fair, I mean, that did give me a light coverage, but it is a very, very light coverage. I think I would definitely need like quite a few more drops to make this to a coverage that I want, but obviously, I mean, it does say that that would give you a light coverage, so I'm just gonna add a couple more drops. It is a little bit tricky to use just because it's so liquidy that it just kind of drips everywhere. Okay, so I'm gonna apply the same amount to my other side of my face, but this time I'm going to use the sponge. So I'm just putting some on the back of my hand because I don't trust me trying to drip this onto my face because it will go everywhere. Okay, so I definitely think I prefer the sponge to apply this. I feel like with the brush it kind of picks up on dry patches a little bit more, whereas with the sponge it blends a lot more like naturally into the skin. So I'm now just going to apply some more drops of this to my face. Like, I haven't done any on my nose yet. I feel like one of those Instagram people that drips stuff onto their face. As you guys could see from when I was blending it and from when I added the more drops, it definitely was buildable. When I first put this foundation on and did the first layer, I was like, this is extremely light coverage. Like, I just didn't think it was going to really work. But it definitely is buildable. Like, it's definitely covered a lot of the redness around my nose. It's covered a lot of the redness around my blemishes down here, and I had one on my forehead as well. I mean, you can still see them, like, it's definitely not full coverage, but it definitely is buildable, which is what it, like, claims to do. So I'm pretty impressed with that so far. I also like this little sponge. So far, so good. I mean, I would definitely have to conceal and powder because, I mean, the finish of it is kind of, it's not matte, but it's not super glowy. It does pick up on dry patches a little bit, but I found that it worked a lot better with a sponge than it did with the brush. Yeah, no, overall, I'm liking the finish of it so far. But I am just going to add a couple more drops in problem areas just to see if I can build it up any more. Yeah, but one thing I will say is, in order to get the coverage that it says on the box, you need more drops than they are suggesting. Like, it said that you needed 3 drops for a medium coverage, but like, I've just put 3 drops on my nose. Like, you need more than they say, but you know what, that's okay. Maybe they mean like 2 squirts of it. I mean, it's pretty good coverage. I just completely missed my face and that has just dripped onto my inner thigh. I learned from my mistakes. The layers have just been going on top of each other like really nicely, and yeah, I'm pretty impressed so far. Please excuse my dry lips and the foundation on my lips, but this is what the foundation looks like. I mean, overall, I think it looks pretty nice and it's given me a decent amount of coverage. It's covered quite a bit of the redness around my nose, but I definitely do still need to conceal, and I need to conceal my under eye bags and stuff and my blemishes a little bit more. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. I think it looks quite nice. It feels really lightweight on my face, like it doesn't feel cakey or anything. I don't feel like I have too much makeup on my face, which is always good. So yeah, so far I'm pretty impressed actually. And again, another close-up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my concealer like I normally would. I'm going to use my Lasting Perfection by Collection, and then I'm going to powder my face using my Rimmel Match Perfection powder, just because these are the steps that I would normally take in like my daily makeup routine. So I want to, you know, give this a true test of how it compares to my other foundations. So I'm just going to put these on now. By the way, I haven't actually seen anyone else's review of this. I know that they have it in America already, but I haven't watched anybody review it just because I didn't want to give myself some kind of like biased first impression. I literally wanted it to just be like how I thought of it when I first put it on my face. It's actually looking really nice. Like, the more I look at it, the more I like the finish. I feel like it has dried down to a slightly more matte finish. Like, I currently don't have any concealer around my nose and I'm really liking how my nose looks right now. An ultimate test for foundation for me is like how it starts to separate on my nose as my face gets oily. Okay, so now that I've done my concealer and powder, I feel like the shade match is really, really good for me. Like, looking in the mirror now, it doesn't seem to have oxidized really yet. I mean, yet. I don't know how it's gonna go throughout the day, but I feel like if I do this, it matches my neck pretty well. That probably really wasn't necessary. I'm now gonna have some really nice screenshots of my face on the internet. Cool. Why do I do these things to myself? I normally wear the palest shades in like most foundations, and if you want a comparison of like how pale I am, then look at the video that I did on my channel, which was a Primark haul with Emma. You can see me like compared to somebody else. In that video, everyone realised like how pale I actually am. I think when I'm filming by myself, obviously like, I don't know, maybe like the lighting or whatever, or like I do turn up the saturation a little bit, so you can't really get an idea of how pale I actually am. But when everybody saw me compared to Emma, they were like, oh my god, Soph, you were actually really pale. And I was like, I know, this is what I've been trying to tell you. So, okay, so I'm just gonna go through the claims on the box now that I've got the foundation on my face and stuff. It says, with just a few drops, our Total Control Drop foundation delivers sheer to full coverage and a velvety matte finish. Okay, so I kind of agree with the velvety matte finish. It definitely is more matte than like dewy. Simply adjust the number of drops you use until the desired level of coverage is achieved. More drops equals more coverage. So that's what it says on it. And I do agree with that, but I don't agree with the amount of drops that they've put on the back of the box. It's got like a little thing here, and it maybe that's the amount that you're supposed to do for one drop. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe, yeah, like it shows just over half a pipette. Maybe that is what's supposed to be one drop and you do like 1, 2 for light coverage. I think maybe that's what it's supposed to be. That makes more sense. So I'm just gonna put on a little bit more makeup and go about my day, and then I will come back. Okay, so I'm back from finishing up on my makeup. I probably look really different right now, and I will list all of the products in the description box that I used because I'm sure you guys are gonna have questions. But yeah, I finished off my makeup. I then went and had some lunch, so if I have anything in my teeth, I'm really sorry. But the foundation has now currently been on my face for about an hour. So yeah, it's been on for an hour now. Looks pretty much exactly the same. No oils yet. I feel like it is slowly starting to collect in my smile lines, which is a problem that I have with pretty much every foundation, just because, like, especially when I'm filming, because I'm talking a lot and moving my mouth, I seem to have like the world's most deep set smile lines. They literally like start all the way from my nose and go down here. Normally by the end of the day I look about 90 years old, just because my foundation collects in my smile lines so much. I'm not saying anything yet, we're gonna see how it goes, and I will insert the little clips of footage of me, you know, throughout the rest of the day. I probably will have a different outfit and different lipstick on because I'm filming another video after this. But yeah, I'll show you guys the updates throughout the day, and hopefully you find it helpful. Okay, so the time is currently 7:20 in the evening. So that means that my foundation has been on my face for about 7 hours now. And it's not looking great, you guys. I mean, it's definitely not the worst foundation that I've ever used or whatever, but I am looking pretty oily. And I feel like it's definitely started to emphasize the texture and the pores on my face. I'm gonna give you guys a little close-up to show you guys what I mean about this foundation. It's looking very oily around my nose, but you know what, it's definitely not the worst foundation I've ever tried, and I wouldn't say it's a bad foundation at all. It's just the fact that I have extremely oily skin. Maybe it would be better with a setting spray, so I might try it again with a setting spray, and let you guys know on like Snapchat or something how it goes. I think maybe if you have more normal skin, then this will be better for you. If you have normal to combination skin, I think it would be fine, but if you do have pretty oily skin, it's definitely not going to last the whole day. But that being said, I did like the finish of it when I first put it on, and it looked good up until about 5 hours in. So if you just wanted a foundation to, you know, just wear for the evening or something, you know, where you're not going to be out all day, then I think it's fine, and I think I will wear it again. I just want to clarify that at this point in the day it had been 7 hours and I hadn't actually powdered my face for a second time. Like, obviously I powdered at the start, but I hadn't re-powdered my face in the whole 7 hours, and normally throughout the day I would probably powder my face about halfway through the day, but I didn't do that today just because I wanted to give it a proper run. I think if you did powder and you have oily skin and, you know, you did top up your powder throughout the day, then it will be fine. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to give it like a proper run without repowdering, and doing that, like, it did turn out pretty oily. So there we go. If you're the type of person that can't be bothered to powder throughout the day, then this is not going to be good for you if you have oily skin. But if, you know, you do powder your face throughout the day, then I think it will be okay. So there we go. Those are my final thoughts, I think. I'm just gonna now give you guys a close-up to show you guys what I mean. Okay, so I know that this is really not flattering and it's probably a bit scary, but can you see this area around my nose is looking pretty separated and oily, and it's really kind of emphasizing the pores around here. Yeah, I think you can see that on camera. It has sunk into my smile lines. But then again, it hasn't sunk into my smile lines as bad as other foundations. I've had foundations that have sunk into my smile lines a lot worse. It's just the fact that it's kind of, you know, emphasised the texture and it's got oily quicker than other foundations that I've got. But to be fair, it's been on my face for 7 hours without powdering, so. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have found it helpful about my overall impressions of this foundation. If you did find this video helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I would love to know if you guys try this foundation or whatever. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions. I'd really love to start doing some more like reviews, like dedicated reviews of like certain products on my channel. So if there's any other like drugstore foundations or drugstore, like, I don't know, mascaras or just something in general that you guys want me to test and then do a kind of like, you know, like check in throughout the day and stuff. I just think this idea is pretty cool. I mean, obviously so many people do it. I love Tati's videos. She does this kind of thing all the time, and yeah, I just thought it would be pretty fun to see how it lasts throughout the day and stuff. So if you guys want me to do this with any more drugstore products, then let me know. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!